Hello and welcome to this new video. Long time no see, so I'm very happy to see you back here. Today we're gonna talk about friends and friendship, and I'm sorry if I always tend to look in here and not in here. I got a new camera and I still have to get used to look into the lens and not on the screen. Let's get started. As you guys might know, I'm in Canada, far away from my friends and from my family. So one day I was just sitting in my room, casually sitting in my room, reading some books, and I started to think about my friends. Because when I sit in my bed, I have a perfect view to some pictures I hung up on a wall, and there I always see my friends and my family. And I started thinking about them, but I didn't start to think about and question the friendships. I just started thinking about friends in general, because everybody has or everybody wants friends. So I started to ask myself a few questions, like, is it important how many friends we have? Can you only call someone a friend if you always spend time with them? Do we have to have the same interests when we're friends? So I started looking it up on the internet, and I found some theories and some thoughts by the Greek philosopher Aristotle. But I wanted to include some thoughts of people that are like-minded, who are maybe in a same situation with being abroad, being far away from friends, or just even my friends, because they're my friends and that's the topic, so why not ask them? This video will be about the Greek philosopher Aristotle and his 3 types of friendships, and it will include the thoughts and perspectives of different people on Instagram, and I also put my opinions and insights into that, just for information. And I would say, let's go. And my phone is about to die, woohoo! Friends are a part of our life. No matter what, no matter when, and no matter how old we are, it is always good to have someone to call friend. Someone who is there for you, who supports you, who you can trust, who you can hang out, or who you can even call if you're bored. Someone who is there for you and who likes you for who you are and who you want to be. Friends have an impact in our life, and that's why it's so important to surround ourselves with the right kind of friends. We should surround ourselves with people who live their life the way we want to live our life. So if you want to have a happy and positive life, you probably won't surround yourself with people who are pessimistic. Friends are a second family, the family you can choose. You can have friends that are older. You can have some friends who you can be more open with, or you can even have some friends where you don't share that much with each other. It all depends on you and the other person. We can decide whether we want to spend time with them or not. Everything is in our hands. What we make out of it is our thing. The Greek philosopher Aristotle described 3 types of friendship. The first 2 are the one of utility and the one of pleasure. And those 2 types of friendships are very similar because they're fleeting. They're non-permanently. Aristotle noticed that those friendships of pleasure are very common among the young, and that those type of friendships always occur in shared phases of life, such as high school, university, or maybe even the first job. But as soon as this chapter of life is about to end and a new chapter is about to start, those friendships usually end. Friendships of utility often result between 2 or more people who realized and understood that life consists of compromises. A young family, for example, may look out for another young family in their area in order to trade some babysitting duties in the future. But as soon as the benefit disappears, the friendship will come to an end. Because those types of friendships are short-lived. But don't get me wrong, guys, there's nothing wrong about those types of friendships. It's just a little problem if you only have short-lived friendships, because then those next two things might happen. Number one, every single person, every single bond, every single friendship will fade away because our wishes, our dreams, our needs, our interests will change, and they change every day. So as soon as you're out of high school and you start going to university, you may lose track of the people you went to high school with because your interests changed and you may study something different or do something different. Why is that? Because those bonds come to an end, because you got brought together by the same circumstances, and now that they're not given, there's no friendship anymore. And number two, you will always crave something meaningful, something honest, something deeper, a real connection, a friendship that lasts, people that stay by your side, people who you can grow old with. So now that I've talked about those two types that are totally described, I want to talk about general types of friendships. So I asked the people on Instagram questions about having a big group of friends and having a small group of friends. So now let's start with having a big group of friends. What are good things about that? If you like to do a lot of things, if you're extroverted, or if you even like the fact of having a lot of friends, then having a big group of friends is probably very good for you. You can have a lot of fun, have lit insider, and you have a lot of opportunities and a lot of different people with whom you can spend your time with. Especially nowadays when friends are only one text away and we're connected with people all over the world. Because you can have a lot of different people around you, you can have a lot of different personalities around you, and you can learn very much from that, from those different types of personalities. You can learn how to cope with them, you can learn how to interact with them the best. However, having a lot of friends takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, and some people just can't cope with that. If you have a lot of friends, you probably won't be able to know them as well as when you only have a few friends. Maybe you stress yourself out by thinking that they might like each other more than they like you. So having a lot of friends can also be very exhausting, and as I said, some people just can't cope with that. You have to put more effort into trying to spend time with them. Maybe you stress yourself because you want to spend time with them equally, and then you plan and plan and plan. Your calendar's full of meeting friends, and it's just getting very stressful. Oh, and sorry that I'm so light right now, but the sun is shining into the window. It's so beautiful. Look at that. I'm in the sun. It is so beautiful. I mean, if you don't like what I'm talking about, appreciate the sun. Okay. By having a small group of friends, it is way easier to have real and genuine connections with your friends because they're just less people. Many people told me that less is more. Quality over quantity. You have more time for them specifically, and usually everybody gets along with each other. But if there's a fight, it will probably split the whole group, and you maybe have no other friend who you can talk to about that, because the friends you usually talk to about your problems are the ones you are fighting with. You will always be around the same people, which makes it a little bit harder to grow personally, because you're always around the same types of personalities. And sometimes even odd-numbered groups of friends don't work out well. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever experienced hanging out as a group of 3 or 5 or 7, and it just didn't work. I did, and I have to say that it's true. In some situations it depends on the friends, but usually it doesn't work that well. Whatever reason is behind that, don't ask me. So if you really listen carefully, in the beginning I was talking about 3 types of friendship that Aristotle described, and I talked about 2. I talked about the one of utility and the one of pleasure. So the third type of friendship is the perfect friendship. Aristotle says that the personalities count. In a perfect friendship, we are more interested in the person's personality than their abilities or circumstances. Those bonds are not based on what those friends do for you or how they make you feel. Those bonds exist, those friendships exist because you value and appreciate the person for who they are. It can be anything. Maybe you respect their braveness in life or just how hardworking they are. And whatever pleasure and utility that is just a side effect of this real bond, of this deep and special connection. And you people out there, the people who took part in this survey, saw it very similar. And now I'm gonna present you the answers on the question, what is a real friend? Someone where you can show your emotions, where you can truly be yourself without being ashamed or without being questioning yourself. Someone who supports you, who is there for you, who's listening, who gives you good advice and helps you becoming the person that you want to be. Someone who you can trust and who trusts you, who goes with you through thick and thin, through ups and downs, through good and through bad times. Someone who wants the best for you, where you can be yourself, have deep talks with, travel together, and get reminded that you're not alone. A real friend is someone that is special to you. Still, those perfect friendships are rare, and there's no way to skip or accelerate this process because it takes time to get to know someone, to truly get to know someone. Just think about it. Who are your closest friends? Or who is your closest friend? Who popped up in your head? They're most likely the people with whom we spent the most intense phases in our lives with. The basketball team in high school, a co-worker in our new job, road trips in summer, the loss of loved ones, moments of happiness. If you have shared an amount of different experiences with a friend together, and you stayed friends in those good and in those bad times, then you're on a good way to a perfect friendship. Because we need time to appreciate people for who they are. And then I asked myself, have you ever learned something bad from friends or through friendships? A lot of people learn to be careful with who you tell your secrets to. Take your time and think about either if this person is trustworthy or not. Be careful with who you talk to. Pay attention on how the person behaves around you and if they're good for you or not. Because you should treat your friends the way you want to be treated yourself. Because you get what you give. Still, there are people who take advantage of others, and sometimes we don't even realize it. Focus on yourself and spread the vibes that you want to receive, because you automatically attract people if you like yourself, because they can feel the love and the energy that you give from yourself. And last but not least, I will talk about some good stuff you learned from friends. Friends take a big part in our personal growth. We would not be the person we are right now if we wouldn't have our friends. How to accept other personalities. We learned that everybody's different. You are important. People actually care about you. Follow your heart, because you're perfect. Just the way you are. Be more open with your emotions, because sharing your thoughts and your feelings is important, and is important to learn. So why not learn around your friends where you're comfortable with? In the end, I asked the people on Instagram if they have something else to say. I don't want to keep them from you, I want to share them with you. So enjoy those thoughts. Always keep yourself a priority, even for the sake of self-care and self-love. Don't overgive to other people. Only because you get used to each other and you have to spend time together doesn't mean you're friends. Find friends with whom you can develop and not stagnate. Losing a friend isn't always bad. Sometimes it shows you that they were not that compatible with you as you thought. Realizing that can help you in the future to find a friend who you're more comfortable with and makes you feel better afterwards than you felt with your old friend or your old friends. I am so grateful for my friends. They are what gives me hope and safety. So, all things together, we all have different thoughts on friendships, but we all seek a real connection, a friendship to grow from, and we treat each other with respect, where we experience love, trust, honesty, and show your friends that you care for them and that you love them. And why not texting somebody if they pop up in your head? Texting is something that doesn't take a long time, so if you think about a friend, it may be for a reason, so why not check up on them? Keep smiling and spread positive vibes. See you next time. Bye! Focus on me.